We all understand that education leads to opportunity and to privilege, but I think that most of us might value most highly the privilege of having the opportunity to use our new skills to make the world a better and maybe a friendlier place. This has been the experience of myself and my team this weekend, thanks to our providential encounter with Counselors Rodriguez and Delfino of the CSUMB faculty. The idea that the software you write today might save someone's life is a humbling thought. That's the mission that we were given. The Suicide Prevention app, sponsored by the CSUMB Personal Growth and Counseling Center. Our work is a response to a very real social problem which is seldom talked about and which is bigger than we suspected, maybe bigger than any of us suspected. Suicide kills more students than drugs and alcohol combined. Naturally, we were eager to help. We set up our app with a direct phone button to a 24-hour suicide hotline and added important information for suicidal students and their friends and loved ones. It has been our privilege to be involved in such important work, and we only hope the rest of our careers are as compelling and meaningful as the time we spent creating the CSUMB Personal Growth and Counseling Center's Emergency Suicide Prevention app.
Hello, my name is Shaker. I'm going to present the actual app itself. When we created this thing, we decided that the fundamental design choice should be that it should be simple, easy to read, and easy to use, because when something like this is being used, it's often not a very good situation. So the main menu you see here, at the very top, there's a button. It takes up about a fifth of the screen, that when you click it, it immediately calls the Central Coast Suicide Hotline. When we were assigned this app, we talked to the counselors, and they gave us a couple of sheets of information for us to include. And so we divided up our app into sections of information. They wanted it very simple, and we agreed it should be very simple. First section. We took the text and we put it into the app, and we made it clear so that everyone could see it, and we made navigation extremely simple. As you can also see, we use CSUMB's official colors. So we have back and next buttons, and a home button, and each section is divided into multiple pages. And it goes from one section to the next. And so here we have the section. First section was on what are the signs of someone who may or may not be suicidal. The second group of sections is how we can help someone who can be suicidal, and this continues on for several pages. The last page, the last section, is for resources for people. You click it, it has a little bit of different navigation. Again, for each major resource, there's a button there that allows the phone to automatically call it. In my experience using Android apps, oftentimes it'll have a phone number, and Android will recognize it as a phone number, but it's cumbersome. With this, all you have to do is press a button, and your finger's not going to miss it. And then we also included hyperlinks for each section. At the end, the Personal Growth and Counseling Center asked us to include a link back to the page. So at the bottom, we have a button that does it. We, again, our design choices were as simple as possible and as easy to use. And I think it's everything.
Questions? So on your resources, didn't you have other suicide hotlines that are in the area?
Yeah.
Do you have other?
We have several of them, actually.
So
Yes.
if someone was not on campus, or if they were home on vacation or whatever, they would have some place else to call?
We have the Central Coast Center, which is the number that you call it the home thing, and it's this area. They're at home, not here. There's also links to the national hotlines.
It's intended for CSUMB students, but just changing the links could make it available to any college campus anywhere, and by having the national one, it's available to anyone anywhere.
So you'd have to customize the app.
We'd have to change a few things. A few of these pages, it's a matter of minutes of work.
Is your target user someone that is going to commit suicide, or someone that is a friend of someone?
It's actually primarily targeted towards people who are friends of someone. As you see, one of the sections is entirely devoted to friends of people who might want to do this. The way they explained it to us is that this is often information for people around the person as well as the person himself.
So did you think about then integrating, like, the person's address book or so and so? If my friend is Joe and Joe's their problem, that I could automatically send Joe's contact information off to them so they could do an intervention?
We thought about that. We felt that would be a privacy breach.
There might be concerns about that. Also, we didn't get a chance, unfortunately, to look too much into other people's contact information. It was mostly just getting this up. Other questions?
This is HTML.
XML and Java, same as everybody else. That combination is the best for Android services.
What was technically the most challenging part of this?
We had a lot of difficulty integrating each other's code, and we tried to do this thing at the beginning where everyone was working at it at the same time, and we ran into a large number of technical difficulties, like integrating the code using GitHub and version control software. We ended up having to abandon that completely and just kind of do pure programming.
Yeah. It didn't help that none of the members of our team were confident enough with GitHub in order to figure out how to deal with some of the automatically generated files, and the program we were using would dynamically rewrite code based on what we were doing somewhere else, and keeping track of that and proved to be a nightmare. So we basically ended up giving up, had each person work on their own thing, and my job was to bring it all together and make sure that it worked and kept working. And I think there was a few of the things slipped a little, but for the most part we managed to get it done. I was going to say the other difficulty we had is, you know, many of the other groups had a mentor or had a fair amount of background experience. All of us were new to Android programming. Most of us were new to even the idea of version control software. There's a few of us that have used it a little bit in the past, and we didn't. Our mentor was absent for most of this process. He was present for about 4 hours.
So did you guys learn a lot? Would you go back and do this again?
Yes.
I actually, yes, would love to continue developing Android apps. I was actually surprised at how simple the process ultimately was.
Yeah. An excellent experience.
Okay, so what would be the one feature you'd add? Sorry, no. What would be one feature that you would add if you had more time?
Better graphical interfaces and prettier colors. None of us really had an art background, so we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
You didn't do too bad.
We chose to see Csumb colors.
Yeah,
So-
you got it.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, thank you.